how's it going? My name is Bernadette 𝒂. I am the founder and host of the Unleashing Potentials podcast. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to comment. I want to hear from you. Okay, you guys, I want to hear your thoughts on what I've been sharing. And if you know someone who has experienced anything that I've been sharing relating to schizophrenia, please comment, like, subscribe, share. Spread the word, spread the love, spread the light, and spread the healing. And let's end the stigma towards any form of mental illness or disabilities for good. We need to do it together. All right. So, as I've said, I'm the host and founder. I am a mom. I'm an adoptee. I'm a mental health advocate. And I love podcasting. I love podcasting, and I absolutely enjoy talking to people like you guys and educating people based on my own experience and also things that I've seen and juicy topics to talk about. But I'm starting with a really big one, you guys, because I'm doing a marathon series, you could call it, however many videos it's going to take to get everything I want to share across. That is my exact intention to do it. All right. So the series that I've been doing is about schizophrenia. I am a schizophrenic. I have schizophrenia. It's not necessarily who I am, but that's what I'm labeled as. All right. So it makes it easier, for me to share what I've been through, and to have the experience. I think more people will find it resourceful, especially those who are going through similar experience. All right. So I am schizophrenic. And yeah, it's been on my mind, for quite a while since I started podcasting. Hey, how do I talk about those topics and get people to listen or get the information across to those who are diagnosed, who are not diagnosed? How do I bring it all together in a cohesive way where it can make sense? So that's the best way I can come up with it, is to break it down for you guys along with my story, along with some myths, and just combine it together into one beautiful juicy burger or delicious meal of information for you to digest and hold on to and learn from and pass on to people around you. That's my hope out of many hopes I have. And my hope is to break down the stigma, all of it, for it to be gone. Is it going to be gone today? No. Tomorrow? No. 2 years, 5 years? No. But here's what I can do. Here's what you can do with me together. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm inviting you. I'm being brave enough to step forward to share. But I believe together we can create change around the world, here, where I am, and where you are. All right. So let me give people a quick recap of what I talked about last week. Okay. Last week, I invited you into my world, a little bit of it. And I kind of told you when things started for me, when my symptoms started. And I also debunked 8 myths. And I'm going to be debunking more myths, and I'm attaching those myths with more information about schizophrenia, because it's a schizophrenia day, it's schizophrenia month, and for however long it takes. That's why I'm here. Okay. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you watching, right? Thank you. It means a lot to me. It means the world to me that you're watching, that you're connecting, excuse me, that you're supporting what I'm doing. So thank you. All right. So last week I talked about those 8 myths. Okay. You're going to have to go back to watch the video, because I'm not going in depth with the myths I've shared last week into this one, because we don't want to create 2 or 3 videos that are the same information. I'm not doing that. All right. So last week, the few myths I talked about is that schizophrenia means having split personality. And the second one was people with schizophrenia are dangerous. The third one was schizophrenia is caused by bad parenting. Another one was people with schizophrenia cannot recover or lead productive lives. All right. Another one I shared was schizophrenia is rare. Another one. Schizophrenia always involve hallucination and yeah, all of that. No, it involves more. And also that another myth, we have is that only medication can treat schizophrenia. It's the only treatment. Another myth was people with schizophrenia cannot work. All right. What else? I think those were the 8 ones that I've shared. And I'm gonna share a few more myths, and then we'll dive deeper into the video of what schizophrenia is. I'm still discovering what it is, right? And why am I starting with the myths? Some people would have started with, like a book would, the beginning of the story, the middle, the end, and blah, blah, blah. I don't do it that way. I'm starting with a bang, with a punch, because schizophrenia is obviously a very serious mental health diagnosis, and it should be taken seriously. All right. Actually, let me pause to save myself trouble here. Me sharing my story does not mean I'm encouraging you to retaliate or go against what your doctors are treating you for or how they're treating you. Okay. What I'm sharing is for educational purposes. It's not to substitute of anything that professionals are doing to help you. All right. So as an adult, it is your responsibility to digest what you digest and turn it into whatever you choose to. That is your choice. What I'm sharing is my experience, is what I know, what I've seen, what I've felt, and what I've lived and continue to live. All right. So take what works for you, leave what doesn't. It won't ruffle me at all. So, all right. So I thought I'd put that out. Okay. Listen to your doctors, take your meds, and do what they're telling you to do. Do what you need to do to be well, to be better. Okay. All right. So last week I shared 8 myths. I'm going to add number 9, 10, 11, and so on. Okay. So myth number 9. Schizophrenia is always inherited. Yes and no. Yes, genetics plays a really significant role when it comes to being diagnosed. But no, because in my family, I don't know anyone else who has it. I have it. All right. And also myth number 10, I'm going to add to this as well, is, drum roll, schizophrenia develops suddenly. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's gradual. It takes time. It's rare, but it has happened. It has happened with me where the symptoms can be like a punch. But there were other symptoms to that punch, but it does not develop suddenly. Few of the many signs you'll notice, they're so subtle that you won't even notice them unless you're really focused, unless you really know the person who is experiencing those symptoms, unless you really know the person. The usual things that they do or don't, you might pick up on that. All right. So here are some key points of when how it gradually starts. Okay. 1, social withdrawals. If you notice someone withdrawing, it doesn't always mean they're schizophrenic. Okay, there's different aspects. I'm focusing on schizophrenia. Okay, so when someone completely withdraws, and they do it slowly, they stop going out, seeing friends, communicating with family members. They eventually remove themselves completely from their circles. Okay, another one, unusual thoughts. I've had those, right? And also decrease There's the decrease of motivation. You don't have the motivation that you normally do. That's another symptoms. That proves that it doesn't just happen. It doesn't always happen suddenly. All right. And the other myth I have here is, that's a really good one, is people with schizophrenia cannot have meaningful relationships. That's a really bad myth, you guys. While we schizophrenic, many of us who withdraw, we want space. We like it either very quiet or nobody around. But we do our best to connect, to communicate, to express what we mean. There are many, many. I'm one of those many people with schizophrenia that have meaningful relationships and with friends, with family, with partners, and we can make it happen. We may need more understanding of what's happening with us to make it happen. All right. Myth number 12. Schizophrenia only affects your thinking. No, it doesn't. What kind of myth is that? No, it doesn't. It impacts everything. I mean, everything from inside and out. All right. And it impacts everything in your life. It includes your emotion, it impacts it. And also decision making. A lot of people with schizophrenia, they have a really hard time making at times what seems to be healthy decisions, right? And also memory. Can I speak on the memory part? I've had all of those symptoms, but my memory is still a little bit impacted. I swear, I'm in my house. I know I need to grab something. I'm upstairs. I go downstairs. I can't remember why I went downstairs. I know I'm downstairs. I can't remember what I need to grab. All right. That kind of memory. It can be worse, but that's an example of what I've experienced. Okay. And also physical health is impacted. It's not just your thought, your thinking. Physical health. All right. And also, let's debunk this one. My gosh. Schizophrenia is caused by drug use. Hello. How dumb does that sound? No, it doesn't. Drugs does not cause schizophrenia to happen. Okay? It doesn't. But certain things, certain drugs can trigger it. Okay? It can trigger symptoms of it. And definitely those who are schizophrenic, we are at higher risk of developing more severe symptoms if we add drugs to it, if we add alcohol to it. Is it a smart, wise decision to do that? I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't do any of those. Do what works for you, but I don't necessarily recommend you do it because it's going to pull you back from you healing, from you moving forward, from you accessing help. All right. And yeah, that's another myth. The next myth is all treatments for schizophrenia are the same. No, no, and no. Another no. It's not the same. Each person is unique. So is their treatment. You can compare many different people with schizophrenia. They're gonna have different treatments and things that works for them that doesn't work for the other person. So that is a flatline myth that does not make sense to me, that people think that. So no. All right. So what works for me may not work for you. Simple as that. And it applies to many things in life. Okay. Treatments, often is combined with therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, community support. All of those are different for everybody. All right. Oh, that's a dumb one. The next myth. Who, you guys, why do you guys believe all that crap? Oh man. Okay, the next one is people with schizophrenia lack intelligence. Huh? No. It does not affect how intelligent someone is. For someone to think that it does, it doesn't. If anything, we're smarter. We're trying to figure out what equals what. I can tell you from my experience, you guys, my brain is so different from when I wasn't diagnosed. Okay. I'm able to see things and notice the smallest detail in it. The smallest details I can tell. And when I paint, I notice those details too. It just pops. And the way I process and think, that is completely different. Sometimes people ask me, how did you think of that? That is a smart idea. I would never have thought of it that way. I said, I don't know. It's just how it is. It's just how I think, how I process things. All right. So it does not lack our intelligence. It doesn't. All right. Next myth is schizophrenia can't be diagnosed until adulthood. No. Wow. Schizophrenia can be diagnosed at any age. Obviously, it varies for the person. All right. And it's a bit more rare in younger children, but it did happen for me in my teenage years. Okay. So it can happen at any time. Okay. Another myth. Schizophrenia is the result of personal weakness. No, it's not. It's not a weakness to be fighting a beastie disease. That's what I call it. I call it beastie because for so long before I was ready to open to share my story, I honestly felt like a beast because I'm fighting something so big, so massive, something that at times has control over me versus me having control over it. It can be very hard to, to fight it. So, yeah. Next myth. um, where am I? Yeah, next myth is that, people have to live in some ward or they can't be out in the community. They have to be in the hospitals. That's not true because I'm living out in the community and I know there are many other people who are out living in the community. I know for sure, when I got out of the hospital, it was very hard, because I went from feeling safe, sheltered, and I was being taught what was wrong with my brain, what was happening. I went from that to just being by myself. So it can be scary. It is doable to get through it all. All right. And there are lots of people with schizophrenia who are out in the community who are doing things, epic stuff. All right, epic shit. All right, so we can. Obviously, hospitalization is only required as needed or required if it's like an urgent, okay? Which I advise if you need help, just get it. Drop the ego, just get it. Okay. And another myth is that schizophrenia is the same for everyone. No, it's not. It absolutely is not. Okay. I'm gonna take you through this video. I'm gonna quickly branch off some of the spectrum. I don't know if you've heard of that term before. Okay. So schizophrenia is a spectrum disorder. The symptoms are different for people. The treatment is different, just as unique as we are, it's different. Okay. And another myth is that my last myth, okay, that I'm going to share is that recovery means being symptoms free. No, it's not. It does not mean that. Recovery looks different for everyone. It does not mean you're free of the symptoms. Many of the symptoms are manageable, but it does not mean you're free of them. All right. And many people are out, they're working, they're parenting, they're living life and doing the best that they can. Some people may have a lot of triggers and may have to avoid certain places or situation to maintain their well-being from being triggered, from flipping back and getting triggered. All right. I'll give you guys examples for me. All right. For me, before I got diagnosed, I could go anywhere at any time, any point, any direction. But now I'm diagnosed, you guys. If I'm going downtown, it has to be in a car. If it's not in a car, I need to be with somebody. If I'm by myself, it's too much. My senses get overwhelmed. Because downtown, it's crazy. It's chaos, traffic. I can't do it. You hear the train, dog barking, kids talking, people talking, sirens. You hear all of it. And all of those, they trigger me. So I avoid doing them. Doesn't mean I can't do them, but I pay for them if I do them, for long term at least. All right. So those are a few of the many myths that I want to share with you guys. All right. And I hope, by me sharing my story, that it helps somebody. That's my hope. Because it's hard. It's not easy when we are watching a loved one suffering. And when we are watching them day by day, slowly fading and losing the person that we knew, that still looks like the person we know or knew on the outside, but on the inside, it's a whole different thing. And I will continue to echo to people, echo, to be understanding, compassionate. Stop judging people. Stop putting people in boxes. Stop all the madness where we criticize people, where we put people in categories and labels, all of that. You know what? All it does is hurt people even more. It does nothing good. And I think once we eventually, my hope, in doing the videos that I do, is that people will learn that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to get help. And it's okay to be sick. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take breaks. And it's definitely okay to say, I can't do this. And to be open and honest. And I think people want to be open, want to be honest. What they don't want to happen is to be judged, criticized, or to be ridiculed, or to feel small or not valuable. All right? So, yeah, be kind. All right? And I'm going to be talking about, to branch, and then I'll be wrapping up at some point here, is that what exactly is schizophrenia? It's different to everybody. And also, I want to help you understand the different spectrums of it. I don't know if you've heard the term of spectrum disorder. I had to look for myself what it means, all right, and how to break it down, okay? I hope by me sharing all the myths that I've shared, that they've opened your eyes in a new way, a new light, a new direction of understanding and seeing things, all right? And as someone who lives with schizophrenia, I understand. I know at times, how scary it can be. It can be traumatizing, and it can be exhausting, all right? And Whether you're on your healing journey, whether it's just begun, whether you're like me, you've been diagnosed for quite some time. Yeah, there are still triggers, but you're keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. All right. You got this. And I'm rooting for you. Whether you're a caretaker, caregiver, family member, you got this. And whether you're suffering of schizophrenia, you also got this. All right. And yeah, schizophrenia is so different. It's so complex. And it involves different symptoms. And like I've said, the symptoms are different for everybody. Okay. It involves hallucinations, which terrifies people. But guess what? It terrifies us even more. Us folks who are, going through this horrific time and experience. All right. And it can involve hearing things, seeing things that are not there, delusions. uh, just you strongly believe that something is, and therefore that's the reality of it. All right, disorganized thoughts and speech and thinking. I had all of those. I still do. Okay, if I'm being honest with you, I still do. I've shared that, how I used to stutter quite a bit and how hard it was to organize my thoughts, my speech. And it's not easy. It also involves emotional withdrawal, lack of motivation, which I've also just shared with you guys, okay? So let me share with you guys the different types of schizophrenia spectrum disorders, okay? I'm going to break them down for you. My hope is for you to understand that they're not all the same. They're different, okay? Number 1, paranoid schizophrenia. And the paranoid schizophrenia involves delusions, auditory hallucination, meaning you're hearing things through your ears. An example, just believing that people are watching you or following you. I had that. I still have it a little bit. It's not as bad. I had that. Okay. I don't hallucinate and see anything, but it's how can I put this? It's a residue of trauma. It's a scar that's still there. I can feel it. It's still there. It's not open. It's not active. Nothing is happening, but it's there. All right. And other type of schizophrenia spectrum is this organized schizophrenia. Okay. Where the main focus of this spectrum is that your thoughts, your speech, your behavior is impacted. Okay. Example, speaking in ways that doesn't make sense or struggling to complete daily tasks. When I was in the psych ward, there are all kinds of amazing soul with different diagnoses and things that were fighting. There were people who were talking to the wall, talking to what appeared to be they're looking at something, but there's nothing there, right? That's an example as well, okay? And it can be very hard to complete daily tasks. It can. Okay, number 3, the other type of spectrum is catatonic. That's a mouthful. Catatonic schizophrenia, which is unusual body movement. You're doing weird things with your body. I don't know. I don't have that, but yeah, you're repeating things. It's repetitive. Okay, you're being very still at times or overly active, doing stuff. You're full of energy, then you stop and you repeat it again over and over. It could be repeating your words, your action, or staying in the same position for hours. You guys, I learned of that. That's how severe, and that those are all the different types of spectrum that schizophrenia involves. So when someone say, oh, this person is schizophrenic, guess what? They are not educated to understand that there's different categories and layers to it. So they put that person into the whole thing. All right. So there are categories. Continue to educate yourself. All right. All right. The next one is, oh, that one's going to be very hard to say, guys, but I'm going to try. I swear. Undifferentiated schizophrenia. Undifferentiated schizophrenia. Okay. It's a mix of symptoms that does not fit in a category. All right. I think for mine, it doesn't really fit. I had the first one, paranoid schizophrenia, but that one for sure, it doesn't fit in a specific category. It just is schizophrenia. All right. Next one is residual schizophrenia. That's a new one for me as I'm doing my research. Main symptoms. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Milder symptoms after an episode, but still affecting daily lives. Okay. I think earlier on I might have had that one. Okay. Which I might still have it from what I describe of downtown, all the noise. The symptoms are mild. They're not chronic. They're not like severe. It's not like, whoa, hospital, go to the ward. Okay. It impacts life. You notice it's there. You just carry on. All right. So these are one of the many. And also other ones that are related are schizoaffective disorder, which is schizophrenia and mood disorder together. All right. And another one is schizophreniform disorder. Oh my goodness. It's a short-term schizophrenia with like symptoms. It's not quite that. Okay. All right. Next one. Brief psychotic disorder, which I had in the beginning. And then it came back full force, very violent. All right. So brief, it can be short, temporary, and there are things that may trigger it. Could be stress, could be many things. All right. So yeah, that's what I want to share with you guys in this video specifically. I don't want to add too much information in one video. I want people to be able to digest and come back and be able to click on a video and be like, yeah, this is what she's talking about, and not putting so much on there. All right. So thank you for watching, and continue to spread the love, spread the word. Understand that schizophrenia is not multiple personality disorder. People with schizophrenia are not violent. I have given many examples when that can happen. I am not saying it cannot happen because it has happened. But before you make assumptions, before you come up with whatever you've heard from so and so, do your research, get to know people before you judge them. All right. And schizophrenia can be treated. You can manage it with the right support. There is hope with treatment, with therapy. You need a community support, strong support system. Many of us can recover. Many of us are living fulfilling lives. I am proof that recovery is possible. Remember that you're not alone. It may feel that you are, but you're not at all. You're not alone. Okay? And I'm encouraging everybody. If you're watching this, I'm not looking for fame to be liked. I don't care what you think of me on that. Like me, hate me, love me. I'm just me. All right? Here's what I'm asking. I mean this from the deepest part of my soul. I want you to help me heal, help people heal, help break the stigma. All right? Share it. Share the message. And I want to hear your thoughts, what you think of this episode, and any experiences you've had. And if you're working with anyone with mental health diagnosis, specifically also schizophrenia, okay? If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, share, and spread the love, spread the awareness, because together we can end this stigma. We will, we can, but it needs all of us, and it will take work. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for getting this far in this video. I appreciate you. I wish you love, light, life, and peace. Come back next week for more episodes and amazing information about schizophrenia. Bye.